Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back. That's not what we was meant to be doing. Still having a little bit of mic camera trouble, but we are back. Welcome to the stream, everyone. We'll get going in just a second as soon as I fix this. Right. I think we're on. We should all be good. I think. Let me just test it. Bang. There we go. How we doing? Welcome back. Do make sure, first things first, do drop a like on the stream, please. We're back with a bang today. We are back with a bang. Hello, Steve-O. How we doing, my man? Thomas, what's good? Hello to you all. Welcome to another stream. First things first, do make sure you drop a like on the stream. We have got 28 people in, 6 likes. Let's push those likes up straight away. And I'll tell you what, because we're feeling good today, let's get the poll going straight away. We had a huge amount of votes on the poll yesterday. We had, I think it was 80 votes we had on the poll in the end yesterday. But please do make sure, let's get these likes up. 28 viewers, 8 likes. There's 20 of you that are viewing that haven't liked. Let's push that all the way over 20 likes. And we'll get cracking. Thomas says, what is going on with Source Swap and H-Bar? They're both up 15 to 20%. That's a great question. I don't know. Where is H-Bar? Yes, wait. Oh, look at that. What a super catch by Stonksy there. Another one of these examples as well as the 5-minute with the background color change and then the arrow confirmation soon after. That is a rocket, in it. My honest answer is I don't know. I don't know whether there's been something about it or if it's just strength in the market or what. I'm not too sure, is my honest answer to you there, good sir. But let's see. Obviously, we'll have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's hanging around, isn't it? A nice little pump in the past hour or so. And I'm interested to see what we get today. Let me know in the chat what you're looking at. Are you long on anything? Are you short on anything? Gold Sniper, what's going on, dude? Oh, apparently Wizard says that H-Bar have a partnership with NVIDIA. Thank you for that information, my good friend. And good... Oh, right, okay, so that's following on from yesterday. And yeah, good afternoon to you. Yeah, Source Swap is the DEX on it, so... Yeah, obviously rallying alongside it. But, I mean, a nice little amount of relief in the market across most things, isn't it, today? Well, following on from yesterday, really. XRP, I'm interested in slamming this down if we go and have a look at it. Obviously, we do have the range low around $2. But if we got a little push up into here, I would be interested. Where's my toolbox gone? I don't know. I would be interested in slamming it anywhere around 210, maybe 215. Maybe come in and fill in this wick. We'll have to see. But something I'm interested in on XRP as it comes into supply. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on opportunities in the market. But yeah, I mean, so far, Bitcoin's obviously having a green day. Up just under 1% so far. And altcoins are taking advantage of it. Some up, a couple of percent. Some up a handful of percent. Some up, was close towards 10%, I think. So not too bad at all. Calaf is long on ETH. Lee Scully says, I'm still in my ETH long. Stuck it out. Entry 1830. Ouch. Okay, yeah, so you need you need a big pump on ETH, don't you? Really, you need Bitcoin to go back towards about 85k something, don't you? to give any sort of chance on ETH getting some ground on it. As in was says, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, the thing is, we put that much market bounce, you know, whether it be the bottom, whether it be a dead cat bounce, whatever. You can only go down alongside going up for so long before you get a pullback. So, you know, pullbacks work to the upside as well after dumping. Thomas says, I stupidly panic sold 50% of my H-bar holdings thinking we were heading into a Great Depression. Ah, really? Why did you think we were heading into a Great Depression? I don't think it's anywhere near that extreme, I don't think. But Binance transferred 200 mil of XRP internally yesterday, worth 400 million. Yeah, I mean, it is lagging massively, XRP. It's lagging massively. It's not even really, bar, you know, this very quick wick that we had yesterday, which didn't last very long. It's not really retraced at all, and I'm looking for it to maybe come back in towards $1. So if I can get in here, you know, we'd probably be relying on a Bitcoin pump to generate this. But, you know, if it can get in towards $2.10, something like that, I would be looking maybe for a swing short on it. One last hurrah, and then good night. We'll have to see how it pans out, though. Maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe the conditions aren't favorable. We'll just have to see. So Bitcoin is looking like it's... Yeah, I mean, on the 5-minute chart, maybe a bit exhausted, but... We'll have to see. Do make sure you drop a big thumbs up on the stream, though. If you are new, do make sure you subscribe as well. And yeah, we do have just over an hour and 3 minutes until US Open. Let's see what everyone's thinking so far. So we've got 82%, got 17 votes in. 82% of people think we're going up. And we have got them likes up a bit. We're on 14 likes, but we do have 34 viewers. So do make sure, please. Let's get that likes up. We should be at least over 20. We should at least have the people in here to get us over 20, if not towards 25. Good afternoon, Gonksy. How are you doing, my friend? Bal being given the Binance treatment, says Wiz. Has it been delisted? Has it been delisted? Let's see. Oof, yeah. Oh, look at that. Ouch. Did Troy get delisted as well today? Or something happened with Troy? I thought Troy had already been delisted by Binance, but obviously not, no. Oh, look at that. Troy as well. There's another one to add to it, Wiz. But I'm guessing this was a Binance delisting. If I'm correct. Easy, Kev. How we doing, my man? Great to see you. Lee says, I'll never use Binance again. They are ruining decent projects. They're delisting a lot of stuff, aren't they? They're delisting. I mean, that Troy one is wild, isn't it? Look at that. I mean, the thing is... So that's dating back. That's a very old coin, that, isn't it? You know, it's dating back pre last bull run into 2019. But, you know, delisting on Binance, I mean, where does this end up? Probably significantly to the downside. Yeah, it seems like they're going through and delisting a lot of stuff. Now, the problem is, it's all right doing that, innit? But then you need to stop listing crap, don't you, really? If you're going to start having a cleanup, there's no point clearing stuff out and then to only replace it with absolute crap as well. So interesting. Yeah, interesting. I mean, what is safe at the moment? What's safe from the Binance treatment? Solana's had a big pump up. BNB. Let's go and have a check over some of these things. So BNB's now gone into the green, actually, on the 30-minute. Lynx had obviously a nice bounce from yesterday. Now, the question is, Hype's had a really good bounce on it from towards $9 where it was. Now, I want to know, maybe we should, KuCoin are doing the same, is it? Maybe they're doing it in tandem with each other, I don't know. So I want to know in the chat, maybe we should have done this as a poll before I put the US Open one on. But 78% people thinking we're going up. Let me know in the chat, do you think this is the bottom on Bitcoin now? Let me know in the chat. Do you think this was the bottom? Do you think that, and when I mean bottom as in we've now bottomed and going to start pressing back towards, you know, we've obviously got this range inside where we've been trading. Do you think that was it? And we're going to start maybe pushing back towards, you know, 90Ks? Let me know. Hope not. Want more blood, says Wiz. Bottom is in us. Hi, Dave. Hello, Reggie, man. How we doing? Great to see you, my good friend. Do make sure if you've just joined the stream, you do drop a big like on it. Do subscribe as well. And if you're looking for anywhere to trade, do check out BLOFIN. It is the first link in the description. And you can create a non-KYC account in under 60 seconds. It is who we are partnered with at Stonksy. So, yeah, do make sure you check BLOFIN out. And as always, you can get 20% off Stonksy. If you're wondering what the indicator is, where is the indicator gone? Oh, it's because I'm on the 30-minute chart. If you're wondering what the indicator is that we've got on the screen at the moment, it is Stonksy. And when you sign up, you can get yourself 20% off your first month if you want to come and just give it a go. You get full indicator access, Discord access, and whitelisted for the trading bots on BLOFIN too. So do make sure you check that out. Let me pin this. I'll pin it in the chat, but you'll find it in the description as well. Bang. There we go. Everything is looking the same, innit? I think bar ones, even Filecoin, even that is kind of had a bounce on it. It's one of the ones that's in real trouble, Filecoin. But overall, I imagine everything has pretty much got a similar pattern to it today. Jasmine's had a big old pump, 14%. If you look at something like Say now, so Say has pulled all the way back deep into there. It's right back as well where we've been looking. Pulled right back into where we was looking. But look at something like Say. It's had a huge, huge correction, hasn't it? From its December high, it's currently down 80%. Did probably go down as low as 85, but from its actual all-time high, we're down 86. Did go down as about 88, 89. So it seems, I suppose maybe we approach a point, don't we, where it's like how much more value can actually be knocked off altcoins. Look at Jupiter. Jupiter went as low as 30 cents. Problem is, obviously, there's no end in sight, but you would imagine at some point you're going to get a steal on this. If Solana does, if the market does drop more and Solana goes to maybe $90, maybe like something like 85, 80, maybe, Jupiter is the beta play to Solana and maybe get a steal on it around 20 cents or something. Maybe. Who knows? But we'll see what we get today. Obviously, the S&P 500 has been climbing in London session. So London has been leading the charge for the S&P this morning. I do suspect, obviously, this is where we came into yesterday, where supply came into the market. We'll have another little bit here. If we go and look at the daily chart on the S&P, not looking overly bad, I don't think, is it? Is that? That's classed as a high wave candle, which can be a trend reversal signal. So maybe we've bottomed. Rapid bounce to 103k, says Dave. Okay. You're feeling bullish, aren't you? Gold Sniper says, I kind of like the bullish dev printed on the daily chart. Oh, the bullish divergence. Heart. Fart coin is so... Yeah, fart coin is like... Seems to be like the future of finance now, doesn't it? Where is Farty? Still, notice how what we've drawn is still the same. You know, we've had this drawn on Fartcoin for ages now. Still respecting, obviously, support and still pressing at resistance. If we do get above here, as we've drawn ages ago, then, yeah, I mean, this is the zone to flip, isn't it? This is the zone to flip to support. But yeah, I mean, Fartcoin is refuses to die, doesn't it? Got SPX there as well. So a lot of things are looking quite interesting. Got Peanut. Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked at memes in a while. I mean, look at Whiff. Look at Whiff. Whiff is really drifting now, isn't it? We're slowly getting there. I mean, can it get towards the tail end of here? I mean, did it already reach that? I think it kind of already reached it, doesn't it? But I mean, Whiff, there's just no bounce in sight, is there? So, yeah, I mean, VIX is coming down now as well, the volatility index of the S&P 500. So maybe this was peak volatility, we'll have to see. But I think, I mean, my plan for Bitcoin around here, I think if we push above the Monday high into here, this is where supply is in the market. This is obviously where supply came in. So I think we would push into here, obviously really squeeze shorts. And then this is where I'd be looking to get short to trade it back to the downside. Maybe looking for a retested down here somewhere is what I'm interested in. So I'll be looking to take a short in and around probably about 82,500-ish. We do have the CME gap above to be a bit wary of too, but I would probably have my stop around there. And I'd be looking to probably trade it all the way down here. Maybe coming in for a higher low print, something around it, around here, maybe. Which would be not bad. What does everyone think of that? I mean, I find it hard that we'd... I mean, maybe if we get really extreme strength in the on the S&P, maybe we do push through. But I find it hard to believe that we just completely just V-reverse and just have now insane strength out of nowhere. That's where I'm looking to get in for any sort of short. Otherwise, I'm looking to get long on a retest of down here somewhere. What's everyone else thinking? Let me know in the chat what you are thinking. I'll check out AI16Z in a second, Reggie man, yeah. But what should we check out next? Maybe we'll have a look at ETH. Maybe we'll look at Sol. Obviously, we've looked at XRP briefly. We'll cover XRP maybe in a bit more depth. And we'll just make our way through. And then, obviously, closer to market open, we'll have a look at the Mag 7. If that sounds good to everyone. If you want me to look at anything specific, let me know in the chat. And yeah, we'll crack on. Right. Right. Debbie Master, how we doing? Great to see you. Wiz wants me to look at orange juice. Stella says, what's wrong with staying long until the CME gap closes? If that's what you want to do, Stella, nothing. Nothing wrong with that. Personally, you can see it closing. Yeah, we've actually got 2 CME gaps open, which I don't think many people are taking account of. We've obviously got the main one up to here, around 84.5k. But there is actually one open between here and here from on Wednesday when it shut for it. When the CME shuts for an hour, we did get a gap opened between obviously 85.135 and 85.940 too. Nothing wrong with staying long with that as the target at all, no. I mean, but personally, when I look at the chart, I see this area as where supply would likely come into the market, that's all. So I'm not really, I'm more focused on where supply might come into the market rather than the CME gap closing. But nothing wrong with targeting a CME gap close. Lee Scully says, do you think DOT will ever recover? It depends what you define as recover. So if we look at, say, the weekly chart, it's had a big old liquidation on it. Now, the thing is, if we look at the weekly, it's never closed below 375 before, since obviously this is when it launched on Binance. I don't know whether this was when the token actually launched itself, or whether this was just a Binance when it got added to Binance. But if we look, it's never closed below 274. Now you can see over the past, 5 years or so where demand has come in. Specifically over the past, 1.5, 2 years, we've had any high time frame pushes down into this area here is where demand has come in and the chart has been held up. We've not had since August 2020, so nearly 5 years ago, DOT pushed down anywhere near the levels that it's dropped to this week. However, if we go to the daily chart, we do have the tiniest suggestion. Maybe price could bounce in here if it gets that low, but then that's pretty much it. But if we go back again and have a look at the daily, what do we need on DOT? Let's go and have a look. As you can see here, yeah. So pretty much, in my opinion, I think it just kind of really needs to reclaim here. So we need to come up and it needs to get back above and stay above. If it starts drifting lower, I think it's in real trouble. Now, when you say recover, I think it depends on what you mean. It will be, because it's a large cap, it will be dragged along with the rest of the market. So if Bitcoin starts pressing to about 85k and stuff like that, pressing upwards, if, some point this year we start pressing into the 90s, 100s, maybe even a new all-time high, obviously you can't be surprised to see DOT trade into the upside. On a high time frame, this is what we need to break now. This $5.20 area is, key resistance. But if Bitcoin drops lower, we could see DOT heading towards $3, maybe even sub $3. Just depends on what you mean recover. Do I see it going back to all-time highs? No, personally. Do I see it going even to $20? I mean, you'd be very lucky to even get it anywhere there. I mean, this is the key high time frame. I think if it slammed into $10 again, I think that's a good point. I mean, you've got clear high time frame resistance here. If it can get back up towards here, then I think that would be an achievement in itself. In the biggest mega bull market that we could possibly imagine from this point onwards, where would I see it going? I think anywhere in here would be extremely generous and extremely successful if the price got anywhere near in here. Just my opinion. Wiz says NMAX. Yeah, I'll have a look at NMAX actually. I did see it was up. Core Weave. I bought it $6 thinking it was a good idea. I mean, personally, I don't see it. Personally, I just don't see it. I mean, if I was to draw on a chart, you can just see, can't you? You've got some pretty clear, hang on. You've got some pretty clear areas, so it would need to break here, $5.20. Probably here, it would definitely find some resistance as well. Hang on. If we draw this on, give me 1 second. I don't know where my toolbox has gone. So we'd probably find some resistance here as well. And then finally here. So they'd be the levels I would be looking at if I was a dot holder. To the upside. And again, to the downside, you just really want to watch what's below. Because there's nothing really to the downside apart from some daily candles in this range here. Dot might get an ETF. Doesn't really make any difference, I don't think. I would be shocked if that even gave it any sort of momentum at all. I think the whole ETF narrative has ended now. Nothing real. I don't think maybe I haven't really kept track of it. Maybe when it gets announced, things get maybe a 5% pump, 7, 8, maybe 10 if we're lucky. But just because it gets an ETF, I do not suspect it has any form of impact on the price. Yeah, I think a lot of people. I mean, there's probably been a lot of Bitcoin maxis born this cycle, hasn't there? I think a lot of people probably would be much better off now had they bought Bitcoin at, 15, 16, 17, 18K. Than now holding altcoins, that's for sure. But yeah, that's my opinion on DOT. Any more? Let me know in the chat if you want me to look at any more. I will give a completely unbiased view on the chart, and I'll just tell you exactly what I think looking at the chart. And yeah, no hard feelings if whatever. I'll just look at it as a completely unbiased opinion, and I'll just give you my opinion on what I see. So if you want me to look at any more like that, let me know. Where's this saying Newsmax? Let's have a look at Newsmax. I mean, it's up a little bit pre-market, isn't it? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. I think one thing we need to discuss is MicroStrategy, to be honest. I think one thing we need to have a look at is MicroStrategy. SMFC says, if you want to laugh, look at mode. Mode. Oh dear God. Oh dear God. Yeah, I mean, this is... this is... There's no other way to really put this apart from that this is fucked, isn't it? I mean, maybe it does something like this. You can't really write things off. When things get bullish, things will do, crazy things. But when things have no price history to the left, it's extremely dangerous. You think it's the bottom, and before you know it, it's dropped another 20, 30%. But could it do something like this again? Could it maybe, if this is the Bitcoin bottom or close to it, could it form a little range like it did here? And then maybe give, a push up maybe into here? Maybe. Of course it could. Of course it could in theory. Especially if Bitcoin's going to make new highs this year. You'll have things getting a real kick up their ass. And especially once Bitcoin reaches towards its peak and starts to just... If you notice, so you go to the Bitcoin chart. Once we got up here, this is where altcoins really started to pop off, weren't it? When Bitcoin momentum started to run out and it started to just trade sideways. Throughout late November into the first 2 weeks of December is where we got the altcoin pop off because Bitcoin had reached its peak and then profit started to rotate. Could you look at ENA? Yeah, look at ENA. Let's see. I think I've got ENA on here somewhere, actually. Here it is. Right, hang on. Let me get rid of... So, I don't think... I mean, in terms of pullback, yeah, it's been pretty bad. However, in general... Let me find the thing I'm looking for. Hang on. I don't think that this actually looks too bad. If you look at the formation that it formed before, you could definitely see it maybe doing something similar, couldn't you? So as you can see, we come down, really rounded off, and then went up. I think this is a project with a decent amount of backing too, isn't it, ENA? So you could maybe see it doing something similar. I mean, the fact it's not all the way down to its lows yet, when most altcoins probably are, is something. But again, you know, if we just drift a little bit lower into here, I suppose like around, you know, anywhere around 20 cents is probably where you hedge your bets, maybe. And then you say, okay, you know, whether it be a leverage, you know, a leverage long or a spot position, where would you be taking it up to? You'd probably want, I mean, wherever you think, you know, and then your invalidation is kind of like a break to new lows. And then obviously like without a reclaim, so give yourself a bit of room. But then look for wherever, you know, up towards there seems like a decent spot. So something like that, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. It just depends on where you're targeting. I mean, that looks like it would be pretty strong resistance anywhere into here. You know, towards 50 cents. But it's, you know, can it put the same kind of pattern in as it did here, yeah? You just got good invalidation because, you know, you don't want to see it go below where it went previously. Just going to get a little drink, won't be a sec. But yeah, I don't actually think it looks terrible. Obviously, the pullback has been terrible, yeah? But structurally, it looks like it's just going to come in for a retest. So, I don't think it looks shocking. What does everyone think about that? I mean, if you're looking to position in it, you've got invalidation, haven't you? Right. Let's carry on, shall we? Andre says, goodbye, 1600 for ETH, holding 1 to 2 years. I mean, that is a really difficult question, isn't it? Because Do you know what? In my personal opinion, so obviously this is just completely my personal opinion, not investment advice, nothing like that. I'm actually going to say no, because if you're talking 1 to 2 years, Bitcoin has already been going up for over 2 years straight, pretty much. Obviously, minus, these two decently sized pullbacks that we've had. And the next 2 years, is it just going to carry on going up for 2 years straight more? Without any sort of proper bear market or pullback? I don't know. My opinion is maybe. So this is my opinion. And obviously opinions can change. But my opinion is, I still think this year we get one more leg up, is my opinion. So I think we still get one more leg up into kind of like this territory here. Sometime, I don't know when. But then I think, what goes up must come down. It can't just go up in a straight line forever. So if you're talking 1 to 2 years, I'm going to say no, because I expect Bitcoin to come into some sort of bear market eventually. I think there's a lot of gaps and places where it's just obvious for the price to come down and test, which then obviously would result in, it dragging the rest of the market down with it. So, I mean, it's a difficult question, because I suppose it depends on your outlook. If you're someone that believes maybe that, cycles are over and stuff like that, and we're not going to have another bear market, then maybe you would say yeah. Now, do I think it's maybe a good hold for maybe this year? Potentially for like a 2, maybe 3x. Potentially. But, yeah, I mean, it's just really difficult to say, innit? It's really difficult to say, because you could see it coming down lower. You could see it easily going to about 1,300, 1,200. Maybe it's bottomed out from here. It's just that ETH Bitcoin has still not reached that place. So if we look at ETH Bitcoin, I think we've still got a little bit to go. I just think now that we've gone past here and we're back into this range here. So if you look on here, this was a very clear range for ETH Bitcoin to trade. I just think if you come into here, it would just make sense to come back and retest down here. So I think this probably marks, in my opinion, the ETH Bitcoin bottom, which would see it drop another 12%. So I think the pain's nearly done. I think maybe just one more squeeze lower, which would maybe line up with another drop on Bitcoin or something, whatever it may be. And then I think maybe, whatever position ETH is in there, maybe it's in line to get some market strength. Again, just my own opinion, but I think you may as well come down in towards like this around here from where we are now. But like Wiz, and I think Justin's agreed as well, there could be better things to look at in the market. There may be better things. So we'll see. So many longs on Bitcoin. Do you think we see 76k? Yeah. I think we could see a retest of the low. But to be fair, actually, if we go back and have a look at the low, obviously we put this low in, didn't we, originally in February? Then we ran through it. We've now ran through this again. So really, we've actually got kind of like a 3 drive to the downside. But maybe we get something like this. I mean, we could, obviously at the time, this put in like kind of, it came down and then retested it again. Closed pretty much around the same level on the hourlies. But, obviously when we got this first bit of pushing higher. Obviously, you know, we came down and retested near it. So I think maybe a push down towards retesting around the 76k area is not too bad. We could also just come down and retest and maybe even liquidate below. We could also drop below. But I mean, I don't think it goes up now straight away. I think if we get this, I think I'd be looking to definitely short it down. But to the downside, yeah, I mean, we could retest anywhere in and around here. We could retest the low. We could drop below the low. We could get a few things. Can you look at AI 16Z? I think that's on this chart. So this somewhere. Thought I had it on here. Maybe I don't. I thought I had it on here. So, oh, here it is. I mean, I think, honestly, I think you have to go onto Deck Screener to look at this thing, don't you? There's nothing. There's literally, this is on the MEXC chart as well. So this is likely the first place that it launched. There is no price history. There's nothing. There's nothing there. Bear with me a second. Let me load up Deck Screener. Right, hang on. Let's see. Right, AI 16Z, right. Got it loaded up. Let's go and have a look. So, there's nothing to say, is there? I mean, first thing I would say is that the liquidity on it is horrendous. So look at the liquidity. I don't know whether there's more liquidity elsewhere, but especially on this pairing on Radium, it's a meme coin with $123 million market cap, and it's got $87,000 in SOL on the sell side pool. So there is no liquidity to sell into, really. You would be taking, I mean, the slippage on this thing will be mad. So first thing I would note is the liquidity is horrendous on it, at least on what I'm looking at on this pairing. There's hardly any SOL in the pool for the size of the market cap. The second thing I would say is there is literally no support. There is literally nothing. We've got this big old candle here and nothing else. Yeah, there's literally nothing. Even on the 4 hour, it was just one candle upwards. So I don't really have anything to say. There's nothing. There's no conclusion that you can draw. The liquidity paired with the chart, I wouldn't be surprised to see it carry on just drifting down. If it levels off somewhere and then goes up, then obviously it can do that as well. But the liquidity situation paired with there just being nothing to the left, there's nothing really you can say about it. Is my opinion anyway. So yeah, there's nothing really, no really conclusions to draw apart from it can keep drifting lower. If it gets a scam pump, or if it, rounds off to the bottom and gets a pump, then obviously that can happen as well. SPXs keep going up. Are we pumping on openings? Hello, Matty. How we doing, my friend, as well? Shoots. So yeah, the S&P is going up. Is grinding higher as we approach the open in 25 minutes. It could do. Yeah, it could do. But what kind of unsettles me is it's kind of like it kind of makes me think about the staircase up, elevator down pattern. Very like V reversal, very slow and just like gradual, isn't it? But maybe that was the worst that we've seen. Maybe that was it. So if that is it, you know, even if it comes down, maybe we carry on going up. I don't know. I mean, personally, if we squeeze up, I'll be looking to short Bitcoin, I think, in and around here. But yeah. You can definitely see it squeezing. Yeah, it looks strong, doesn't it? But let me know in the chat. Pump into supply, reject, then look for longs around. Yeah, that is my plan, yeah. That is pretty much what I'm looking for. That is exactly what I'm looking for. I would love that. That is the ideal situation, I think. Right. Let's carry on, shall we? Can you take a look at H-bar? Yeah, so H-bar, Wiz kindly told us that this has got a partnership with NVIDIA. So it pretty much has done what we was looking for. I think we drew this a while ago, didn't we? So it's pretty much come into where we was looking. So I think obviously this kind of area here, if we get rid of that, let me get rid of this and get rid of that. Get rid of this. So I think we are potentially going to see, let me go to the 4-hour chart. Yeah, so I think in and around here would be the challenge. That would bring it into supply, obviously where we led to the downtrend. We do have obviously local resistance around here as well. So this is obviously where the price rounded off on the 4-hour. And then I believe, because it's been a while since I looked at H-bar properly, was that? So yeah, that was the range low, wasn't it? That was the range low. Obviously, you know, wicks into there, candles into there, holding up and then turned to resistance, got above, back below, rejected, rejected, rejected. So yeah, I think, yeah, if we go back to the 4-hour, this is obviously if it holds up. I think we've got, you know, an obstacle here, and then obviously obstacle in here as well. And that's probably what I'd be looking at on H-bar. You clear them, and then maybe you start looking to the upside, back towards 25 cents-ish, yeah. Nice climb up on the 4 hour. I mean, that is a lot of green candles in a row, isn't it? You know, very standard V reversal. So nice climb up overall, and we are getting a pump on Bitcoin. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm just going to set my thingio as well. I'm going to set my my ask. Say short. Oh, what did we look at that? So short. There we go. Right. There you go. I've got my short order in. If we come into here. Right. Can you take a look at render? I can do that. Do make sure you drop a like on the stream, and if you're new, do please subscribe. And if you're looking to take any trades today, do click that first link in the description. Sign up to BLOFIN, non-KYC, and you can create an account in under 60 seconds. Because it's just an email. There's no ID verification. I'll also be looking to short XRP. I think if we get a squeeze up into here on XRP, I'll be looking to short XRP as well. Right, render. I think I have render on here somewhere, don't I? There it is. What's this? Okay, so we actually retested, yeah. So we went through the March low again on render and bounced. Obviously got some resistance up here. Got, on render, and then I don't know where my toolbox has gone. It's very annoying. Around there as well. I mean, maybe you wouldn't need to put that in. Maybe you could just target up towards 411 if you wanted to. But I think that probably doesn't look too bad on render. Again, you know, it just needs to hold down here, and it's a retest of this consolidation that we had here. As you can see, this is where render come in, and it consolidated, formed a nice little range, and then bang, there's the impulse. So far, it's just come in and it's just retested that from the upside. If we get another push down on Bitcoin, and that's a big if, potentially maybe we see render come in and refill this here and use that as reaccumulation and then maybe go up. So that's one possibility. Maybe we see that. Otherwise, yeah, be looking to maybe break these highs on render. If we break above, specifically get above kind of this 412 level, could be looking up towards $5. We've got 15 minutes until US Open now. We've got 15 minutes. should we have a look? I did have a look because I posted the liquidity charts on the Stonksy page, but the 3-day chart is as you'd expect. As you can see, this is where I've labeled as supply here. We would come in and obviously clear through this, and then we'd take a decent chunk of it on the way up. And then, as you can see, liquidity building to the downside. Again, I think, I think that's kind of bait. I think, obviously, there is definitely liquidity above here towards 85k, definitely. But I don't think that you clear through this supply straight away unless we get some unholy, very strong bid with a lot of demand coming in on the spot side. So we'll see anyway. We'll see. Hopefully it works out. Need another one of these candles, don't we? We need another one of these candles today. But what everyone else is thinking? I think a few people said in. Let's see. Should we have a look actually? So we got 78% of people thinking we go up. So we'll close that poll there. Please do drop a like on the stream if you haven't. Let's see. We'll have a little flick through the CSE newsletter while we wait for US Open to come in. Just going to grab another drink. It is a hot one today, isn't it? Is everyone experiencing some nice weather where you are? I imagine most people probably are. It is some lovely weather at the moment. But we'll have a deep run into this CSE. Thoughts on the summer months? Boring. I think. Boring, I would imagine. But yeah, this is obviously CSE's newsletter. It goes out every single Tuesday morning. And little input for you. I do the TA on it and stuff. So it's me and Spud that put this together. But if we go and have a look, obviously Bitcoin's make or break week. Bitcoin, so as you can see here, I've got it outlined, everything. So demand down here, we've got the supply where I'm looking at the moment, we've got the CME gap just above. And then we do have the range high around 88,500. So that's the range high of the current local price action, not obviously the previous range low, which is around 92k. So range high of the current price action. The weekly chart, obviously this is something we covered yesterday with Justin, looking at the 50 weekly moving average. We then got 81k, which is kind of proven, providing a bit of, or is it 80,000? I think it's 80,500, providing a bit of what could be maybe resistance on the weekly. And then obviously the origin of the rally tied in with the previous range high. Then got Ethereum, obviously just completely ran through this zone at the bottom here yesterday and then is bounced back into it. So obviously again, this was a little point where Ethereum traded before we got the impulse higher. We do obviously have this then to the downside around 1,300, 1,200. And then Solana, obviously went through Solana yesterday. Got the key pivot point around 124. Got the range high up here. And then yeah, obviously loan about 90k, maybe look $90, and then obviously this void in here that a lot of people are looking at. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, CSE newsletter is well worth being subscribed to. Yeah, what about you, Debut Master? What do you think about the summer months? I mean, I can't see it being anything exciting, can you? I think, depending on what happens in the last, the next, 22 days that we've got of April, I think we're either going to see... So, obviously, we don't know what's going to happen in April, but my estimation would be whether we drop in here or whatever, I think we finish April inside this range, and I think this potentially is the summer range as well. Unless something happens that, obviously changes my theory on that. But I think even if we come to the downside, we finish April in here. And even if we come up to the upside, even break through what is currently the range high, even towards a retest of, 91, 92k, I think we still finish April in here. So I think maybe we see another long consolidation. Maybe through till about September. Well, we'll just have to see, won't we? Obviously, things can change. If we get a change in environment or Bitcoin reclaims, key level to the upside. It normally dips, but I was wondering if we get a recovery. Well, I mean, the potential good news is maybe the dips will be over by then. Maybe the dips are finished this, maybe this month. And then maybe it's just a case of ranging, which is good for trading, obviously. Maybe that's a case, which I don't think would be too bad. It provide great long and short opportunities. So, yeah. We've got 8 minutes until US Open anyway. So this is going to be fun. But yeah, I mean, we'll load up the S&P, but I think this is going to be a really interesting day for Bitcoin. Hopefully we get the squeeze higher. Right, shall we load up the dual charts? Let's load up the dual charts. Where's the S&P? Over here. So yeah, we are getting a strong drive up. Now, interestingly, Bitcoin's not really been following this path of... Has it? Has it been following it? Maybe it looks similar. Oh, no, it has. I was going to say that I thought it would... I didn't think it had been following it so closely over the past few hours, but it looks like it is. Right, so we've got the 5-minute charts loaded up. Fortunately, we don't have any Stonksy ones open on the 5-minute at the moment, but Stonksy did obviously catch. And this 5-minute background color change plus the arrow confirmation soon after is proven to just be an absolute monster recently. Again, you can see yesterday catching the Bitcoin pump. Absolute monster of late. From what I've been looking at anyway, the 5-minute. The 6-minute as well, SMFC told me, has proven to be, I think, a little bit better than the 5-minute as well in terms of the background color change plus the confirmation. Arrow confirmation soon after for a trade. But we have got 5 minutes to go, so let's see what we're going to get. Are we going to get anything exciting? What is your arrow settings on mate? So sensitivity 8, confirmation 1. I've found it to just be an absolute beast from, you know, the time I've been looking at it. But yeah, we'll see. Right, let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. Every day, this is my new regular spot, says Choopsy. Yes, Choopsy. So what are the expectations? I think we pump. Big respect for the stream. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate your kind words, Choopsy. I appreciate it. Matt, he says, what are the expectations? I think we're probably, it's looking strong in it. I think we're going to probably pump it maybe throughout the session, maybe straight away. I don't know. But I am looking to enter a short on Bitcoin up here. So we'll see. We'll see if it comes off. We'll see if I even get entered. We'll see if I get stopped out. It'll all be documented. Don't you worry. But, I mean, as it stands, we're looking strong into the open, yeah? Should we take a quick look at the Mag 7? So, NVIDIA is up to 104 pre-market. Apple is up to 186 pre-market. Meta is up to 544 pre-market. Wow, that's a big jump. Okay, Microsoft is up to 367 pre-market. Amazon 185. Tesla 245 and Google 151, and obviously the Mags ETF is up at 43. So we'll have to see. I mean, it's looking like everything's going to come out the traps very strong. That's what it's looking like at the moment. How far? Monday high? No. So I'm looking at a pull into... This is my personal plan of what I'm watching for. So I'm looking for a pull into here. So run the Monday high, squeeze into here. This was obviously the origin of where supply came in. So that's the exact trade I'm actually taking. I don't know about the take profit just yet. I mean, if it comes off, I'll see how prices unfolding if we end up getting down here. But that's going to be my entry is 82,499, and then my stop loss is 84k. So that's what I'm entering. Again, not financial advice. That is not financial advice to enter a trade, but that is the trade I'm taking. If I get there. And then if it comes off, great. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. But I think it's worth a shot, for me anyway. Do you reckon alts will follow? Alts will definitely get a pump. If Bitcoin comes into here, I think another one that's worth watching is... hang on. I'll show you in a second because we're about to open. So that means... You know what that means? It's ring-a-ding-a-ding time. There we go. We are open for business. So alts will definitely follow, yeah. I mean, if Bitcoin gets a pump, oh, yeah, I mean, alts will probably get another really nice squeeze. But then in turn, if Bitcoin starts dropping off back in towards, mid-70s, then yeah, alts will get crushed again. But another one that's worth keeping an eye on is XRP. So if we look at the 1 hour chart on XRP, we will come into supply around, around 210-ish, maybe up to 215 if it squeezes. So I think XRP is maybe another one to potentially watch for squeezing into supply and then rolling back over. But again, if you just want to take the trade for the market leader, I'd be looking at Bitcoin, because obviously for XRP, if we want to get the sell-off on XRP, we're probably going to need the sell-off on Bitcoin. So, yeah. That's probably what I think. And we are selling off on Bitcoin on the first 5-minute candle. Justin says, another gap created on XPX, so we get a pullback. Yeah, I mean, I think for anyone that thinks we're just going to completely reverse this, I don't think we are. So I'm not sure where it's created the gap, because I follow the S&P chart that ties in futures alongside, obviously, session trading. So it's not got any gaps because it's obviously got futures data in it. So maybe we could have a look actually where the gap. Let's see. Let's load it up. So the gap is down to 5,000. Yeah. So I mean, hopefully, ideally, maybe we squeeze up first, close this gap, which would then allow Bitcoin to squeeze up. And then maybe we roll over and then look to close this gap down here. And then God knows what, then maybe if we find some sort of settlements, go to new lows, retest around the lows. Who knows what, we'll just have to take it as it comes. But maybe that would, that would give Bitcoin some room to squeeze up and then obviously drop back down. Same as Bitcoin projected path. Yeah, make it happen, mate. Justin, make it happen, please. Fill me. I'm looking to get filled at 82,499. So a little lower, a couple dollars lower than I've got on here. What about you, mate? Where are you looking to get filled? Do make sure you drop a big thumbs up on the stream now and subscribe. Obviously, if you're wanting to get Stonksy, get full indicator access, Discord access, and whitelisted for the trading bots, you can get 20% off your first month. Click the second link in the description, or you'll find the code there as well. Click start now on the website. Select the monthly plan here, and then put bot20 in at checkout to receive your first month, 20% off. And there's no ties, there's no contract or anything. So if you just want to try it for a month, see how it goes. If you want to carry on after that, that's obviously up to you. If you do want to pay in crypto as well, you can receive the discount too. Just click the email address, hyperlink, just say, hi, I want to get the monthly plan with the discount and I want to pay in crypto. Bang, we'll sort you out. So do make sure you do that. Asking for where I will look to short. Yeah, where you potentially looking to hit the short trigger. I'm interested to know. But a bit of a slow start, isn't it, on open? It's been a bit of a slow start. Yeah, much more of a slower start, this, isn't it? It's a much more of a slower start. Right. So the S&P, yeah, it's kind of stalled, hasn't it? I mean, the thing is, we've had that much of a volatile few days, isn't it? You know, dating back to, you know, about a week ago across the whole market. We are probably due maybe a day or two of nothing too crazy. I mean, whether today is going to be like that is obviously something to be seen. But potentially we are due maybe a day of just nothing too much in terms of crazy volatility and maybe just chugging away sideways. But we are falling off on Bitcoin a little bit in the first 6 minutes of US Open. So we rejected twice for my first point of interest on the daily. We had a price gap between 80,700 and 81. Rejected twice already from there, so expect that will get broken next. Might be a good point to long. Okay, interesting. Do you ever use trailing stops in your trades? Not really, no. And James is constantly looking for short opportunities until we hit 72,500. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people maybe are still conflicted, aren't they? I think there's still a lot of conflicting opinions on, you know, are we going to see further downside? Was that maybe the bottom? What's coming next in terms of, you know, the S&P, stuff like that? Yeah, it's very conflicting at the moment, isn't it? And, you know, not for any right or wrong reason either. It has been a very volatile time, and, you know, we could get anything happen next. But we are getting a pretty sharp sell-off on the S&P. I'm guessing if we go over and have a look at Mag 7. So, yeah, Nvidia open plus, I'm guessing, about 6%. But we've got green across the board on the Mag 7, obviously creating gaps to the downside. But yeah, big pushes up. Obviously, pre-market on all these, creating a nice green open. But we have just come down and wiped out, obviously, any stops residing below here. Epong says, damn, the blood drop. Yeah, it's a pretty harsh 5-minute candle, isn't it? A pretty harsh 5-minute candle. ETH, yeah. ETH Bitcoin completely resetting itself. XRP still holding up. So I think, again, today is going to be a good example of you're probably going to see a lot of similar patterns across the board. So we can go through altcoins, apart from maybe a handful that are maybe showing a slightly different patterns, maybe more strength, maybe more weakness. Everything is probably likely looking very similar. But good absorption on the candle so far. And we do have 33 people watching. So big thank you to everyone who's watching. Please do drop a like and subscribe if you're not. Oh. Right. But you let me know, what would you like to look at next? I suppose while we're waiting for maybe some direction to hit in, we could have a look at if there's any decent news. Can Pi Network succeed without major listing? I don't think there's any. This may be interesting. I mean, Sailor's always an interesting topic to discuss, and it gets headlines. It gets people interested, obviously very conflicting on what people maybe think about him. But, I mean, maybe this is an interesting one to read. Has he built a house of cards? Again, you know, it's completely personal opinion and personal perspective, aren't they? I think a lot of people like Michael Saylor. A lot of people don't like Michael Saylor. Do you think he's doing something that will be completely historical and he'll be, you know, seen as an icon in the future? Maybe others think he's playing a dangerous game and maybe he's, you know, potentially the fall guy or whatever you maybe think about him. But I think it's an interesting discussion. Obviously, you know, currently where it stands, they are still about, they're probably about 10-15% up, aren't they? Maybe about 15% up on the buys, on the average price. Obviously, when they went in heavy in the upper range, they are probably anywhere between 20 and 30% down on them buys at the moment. But overall, you know, he's still in a huge profit, isn't he? And holds a huge amount of Bitcoin, over 500,000 Bitcoin. So he's acquired it. So that 500,000 Bitcoin has cost him 35.63 billion. So their average price is 67,458. I think maybe an interesting chart to look at is the MicroStrategy chart, to be honest. Shall we have a look at that? I think maybe we go and have a look at the... I think I want to keep this... Where's that just gone? Here it is. I think I probably want to keep this on the high up the list. It's always good to see what it's doing. Where should we pop it? Let's pop it right below gold. I mean, considering Bitcoin's drop that it's had, it obviously got a bit of a drop down here, didn't it? But it's not done too badly at all, considering where Bitcoin's been at. So it did a 57% retrace. It's currently 48% down from all-time high. It's not terrible, considering how much Bitcoin's fell off alongside that. I mean, this is probably... You know, you look at the chart and you can immediately say, okay, well, this is obviously a previous trading range. So if price does get back down to it, obviously there's places on the way where it can retest. But, you know, maybe another upside retest of here, which I think, yeah, I mean, relative to Bitcoin, maybe even Bitcoin falling towards the 60s, maybe wouldn't shove it into here. But again, you know, if it at any point comes down and retests this, probably maybe good for a bounce. If it gets back inside, then all it does is reopen maybe this trading range again. Justin says, I have a view on Michael Saylor. I think the big money use him as a narrative to impact retail. Pawn in their game. Yeah, probably. So I suppose a question for you then is, mate, I think we've touched on him briefly, haven't we? I think probably a question, and this is for anyone else in the chat as well. I think the main question is, do you think Saylor, you know, if we zoom, you know, maybe down another year, maybe 2 years, 3 years down the line, do you think MicroStrategy is in a better place or worse place than they are currently? I.e., do you think maybe they have to sell some Bitcoin at some point? Do you think maybe they completely blow up? Do you think Saylor is going to be an icon or seen as maybe the guy before the long-term projection of just invincible value in the market? I suppose that's a question for everyone in the chat. Way too much attention is paid to him, in my opinion. Yeah, I think the attention around his thoughts on Bitcoin and even his buys, yeah. I think really the only attention needs to be on MicroStrategy is obviously their average entry and potentially where they could get margin called. Where people want the money back or where they have to give some of the money back. I think that's the only real things that need to be paid attention to, isn't it, in terms of that? Is their average entry price, because obviously, you know, you want to know for a company holding so much Bitcoin, obviously it's good to know, at what point they potentially go underwater or stay afloat on the bars, and what levels potentially they could be in trouble. Now, I don't actually know any levels of where they could be in trouble in terms of, potentially having to repay investors. If anyone does know or knows of where we can find that information, let me know in the chat. I know they've had to repay some of the senior notes. So I think the first set of senior notes that they took out a couple years ago mature. They were set to mature in December this year, but I think they've already paid them back in advance. Justin doesn't think they get liquidated. I don't think they have one liquidation price, that is. Yeah, maybe they don't. To be honest, I would love someone who has got a full understanding on it. And there is a few people that are in the industry. I mean, I don't think I'd be able to get them on stream, but it would be great to get someone on and who knows it kind of inside out and just be able to ask questions like that and get some kind of proper clarity on what happens if Bitcoin drops to 40k. How much trouble are MicroStrategy in? Is there a point where MicroStrategy would have to sell Bitcoin to repay back investors if they can't loan any more money? I think, to just get definitive, clear answers on that. Maybe there is a video on it, or maybe, someone's done an interview on it. But I think that is some proper good content, isn't it? If we could get that. They're basically an ETF. Yeah. It just trades alongside. I mean, to be fair, because it's obviously a stock as well, even with the ETFs obviously accessible now, it's a bit different. But in terms of when Bitcoin bottoms and stuff like that, it's outperformed Bitcoin because obviously if you was a TradFi investor, you could get exposure to Bitcoin through MicroStrategy without obviously having to go through the need of buying it. Obviously, that's different now because we've had the spot ETFs come out. TMG will give you his opinion. Yeah, I think TMG is of the opinion he's building a house of cards, isn't he? But it's an interesting discussion point. Again, he's kind of like Marmite, isn't he? People either love him or hate him or think he's doing a good thing or think he's completely playing with fire. But we'll have to see. Thing is, if he, in a world where he's right, or doesn't have kind of any risk over the next couple of years, he is going to be seen as one of the smartest and biggest pioneers, isn't he? If Bitcoin takes off on its long, high time frame trajectory, MicroStrategy is going to be in such a comfy position, it'll be unreal. Which is maybe why he kept top blasting it, because obviously he doesn't care anyway, does he really? But maybe that's why he just kept top blasting it here, because he doesn't care how much it goes down, because he'll just keep buying more. Just depends on where MSTR's price goes, doesn't it? Because if that drops as well, I imagine that they can't carry on borrowing money. But while we've had that nice little discussion, we've got the S&P, kind of a really lackluster open, isn't it? Kind of. We've obviously had a bit of a sell-off, but nothing too volatile, nothing too major. Just sent you a telegram in our group. Details. Okay. Oh yeah. All right. Sounds good. Let's see. Oh, I've just seen your message as well that you sent to me on yesterday. I've just replied to that. Let me go on. Have a look. The matter. So it reads, I thought it might have been a thing. Let me reshare my screen. So it reads, the matter of the fact is MSTR as a company and its board keeps updating the SEC's legal terms and bindings for the customers and investors to safeguard them. All customers have already waived off and signed it. So in case of bankruptcy, nothing can be claimed as with other stocks. With one key changeover being MicroStrategy, now Strategy, as a company pivoted on its business model. To have its revenue solely based on existence and value of Bitcoin. So, okay. Yeah, so, I mean, really, it sounds like maybe the kind of, I mean, to me, you're reading that, does it kind of sound like they can't be liquidated? That's, I don't know. Is that a misinterpretation of that? But that's what it kind of sounds like. Yeah, nothing too much on open, is there? There's been nothing too much on open. Right. Crypto Bro says it's because the baseline business was not making much money really and was more of a liability. Yeah, MicroStrategy as a business doesn't actually make much money, does it? There we go. So we got some buying pressure kicking in here now. Price action in high time frame, fair value gaps going to range for a while. Build that base, Dave, hopefully for leg up. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would love to get some price action down here because I would love to get long. I completely fucked that up yesterday. That was a complete fuck up on my part. Should have stuck with my original plan. Otherwise, I would have been long probably from around 75k, which I could have just sat in nice and comfy and closed wherever. But yeah, that was a big fuck up on my part. So I'll be looking to potentially short it down and then hopefully get long back around here. But I think, yeah, maybe we're in for a long-term consolidation again, aren't we? There's just not much too much. There's not too much going on, is there? I think maybe today is going to be. Maybe today is the day where. I mean, probably speaking too soon because we're only 25 minutes into the session, but maybe today is the day where we just kind of chill and go sideways, and everything kind of cools off after a completely manic couple of days. Nasdaq's getting a nice push up as well, isn't it? Nasdaq's getting a nice push up. I mean, everything's getting a nice push up. Everything looking very similar. I need a bit of a clear out on here, don't I? Let me know what you'd like me to look at anyway, if there's anything you want me to cover. Bit of a slow day. I mean, we can cover what we've got coming up this week. We have got CPI on Thursday, so let me get this up. Tick, untick, untick. There we go. So we've got CPI on Thursday. This will be 1:30 UK time, for anyone wondering. So it says 12:30 here, but that's UTC time. For anyone wanting to do a conversion into their local time. And then Friday, obviously PPI as well, day after, same time. So I will be live for that, of course. So that should be exciting. Nice bit of volatility. Estimation is 2.6%. So lower than last time. And then PPI, obviously expected to come in a little bit higher than last time. Market is just waiting for your 5 a day. Well, that's it. That's it. 5 on 3x leverage. What's your favourite season of the year? And don't say sol season. Sol season. I mean, it's got to be summer, hasn't it? But the thing is, often you get a lot of nice weather in the springtime, don't you? Like at the moment, the weather is lovely. Like you'd take this weather in summer. Obviously, you'd want it to be a little bit warmer, but you know, for about a week now, it's been clear skies, sunny, really nice. Normally, you get like a bit of nice weather at the start of spring, and then it goes really bad. And then maybe some nice weather in June, July, or something like that. But it never really lives up to the expectation of being in summer, does it? I don't think, anyway. Hopefully it does, but yeah. So I'm tempted to say spring, but I suppose you got to say summer, unless you're someone who likes the colder weather, or autumn for obviously when it's kind of mild. What about you? SMFC says I hate UTC/BST. It's well confusing. Yeah, I mean it'd be better off if they just left it as BST, wouldn't they? On that kind of time, lighter at night time, much better. Unless you like kind of the seasonal changes. Like if you like it, obviously, when it goes lighter, and then obviously with the time change, then it goes darker in the winter time. If you like them nice dark nights, whatever. So pushing up on the S&P now. Still yet to make a proper bid higher on Bitcoin. But yeah. Tell you what, I'm thirsty today. I'm extremely thirsty today. So that's what we've got coming up this week anyway. And yeah, I mean, we're still waiting. I think you're just kind of waiting on Stonksy to do something. If you're not already in a trade, or waiting on things to come into supply and demand, aren't we? I think that's kind of where we're at in terms of the market. They are pressuring Bitcoin, I guess, says Shoots. We should probably see it catch up. I mean, if we carry on this trajectory on the S&P, we probably should see it catch up. I mean, it's clear where it's struggling, isn't it? It's clear where it's struggling around here. In this bit here, which you can see outlined by Stonksy with this and this. But obviously this tip over that we got, you can see the candle closes and the pushes in on the wicks into this area. So you can see where it's struggling. But yeah. SPX pumping, Bitcoin stalling. It'll catch up. Sean says, love summer. Currently on a nice top list 10k running through Stockport. Listening to your good self. Well, isn't that nice, Sean? Thank you very much for choosing me as your your audio of motivation on your 10k run. Must be a sweaty one, that. SMFC says, how's gold looking today? Or you're doing? No, I've not looked at gold actually. So we're up 1% on gold today. If we go to the daily, we obviously had a big sell-off. As obviously, Justin touched on this yesterday. I think this is kind of standard profit taking given its trajectory. You know, when something goes up like this, it's not going to go up like that again forever, is it? So standard profit taking alongside maybe people selling their gold and then looking to maybe buy the dip on the Mag 7, S&P. Maybe looking to cover themselves on margin, whatever it may be. So maybe just a bit of rotation from gold into risk assets. Maybe into Bitcoin. Justin loves gold. 220 pips this morning. Sean's getting a few funny looks. Yeah, I mean, at some point, you know, it's not going to go up forever, is it? It's not just going to go up in a straight line forever. So at some point, you imagine it is going to slow down and, you know, distribute / round off. It's just a case of where and when, isn't it? You know, is it already happening now? Right, we are starting to push above 80k now, starting to catch up. Yeah, I bet you are getting a few funny looks. So what? Who cares? Doesn't matter, does it, mate? Doesn't matter. You do you. And F to the rest. But it's looking like it's going to have a go again, Bitcoin, isn't it? Obviously getting some good strength on the S&P now. So it's looking like it's going to have a go, which would be nice. What's everyone planning to do then, trading-wise? Who in the let me know in the chat as well. Who is watching that hasn't got Stonksy yet? Let me know in the chat if you're watching and you haven't got Stonksy. I'd like to see who's watching and maybe has yet to get Stonksy. Justin is slamming gold. Another 60 pips. Very nice, mate. Very nice. So I imagine you're long on it then. I imagine you've caught a long on it. Let's see. Let's zoom down. Over the last 5-10 minutes. Yeah, Bitcoin's struggling, isn't it? Struggling. Yeah, 1 to 3 minute chart. Okay, okay, very nice. Very nice. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, are we in for a low volatility day? Is it going to maybe just go sideways? SMFC is asking, Justin, what do you use to trade gold? H-bar is still showing its strength. Hype is still showing its strength. There's a few others still showing the strength in the market, obviously stronger than others. Jasmy's having a good old day. Let's see where Jasmy came into. So Jasmy got very close to that level, Justin, that we was looking at. Obviously, you know, that kind of 7-4 level, maybe a bit different for someone else. But we did get close to it, and it's had a good bounce. But again, Jasmy's another one of them dino coins, isn't it? Well, it's not actually. Is it even that much of a dino coin? It got listed in late 21. I suppose maybe it classifies as a dino coin now. I don't know. I don't know how long it's been around on other exchanges, but Jasmy's another one in it. You're looking at it on Binance, and it's like, is Jasmy maybe something that Binance would look to delist as well? You just don't know what's safe, do you? But in terms of where it's at, I mean, it's still kind of pretty much in this wedge, innit? Alongside maybe coming into a KSR retest. I'd still probably want it to go lower if I was looking to long it. I don't think I would even touch it if it came down here, to be honest. I've not really got that much interest in it anymore. But, it's in the wedge still. So... Okay, yeah. I don't know, did it? I don't think so. Maybe it did, I don't know. Where's it gone? Where is it? Jasmine? I don't know. I mean, if you look at it, I can't see any kind of wild candle. I think this would probably have just tied in with Bitcoin's drop. I can't see any proper horrible candle that would look like it getting delisted. I mean, this is the Binance chart as well. So it's still pulling data. I don't know. I don't know if maybe it has. I don't know, but I can't see any proper nasty 50%, 40% candle. Obviously, I imagine maybe this was, unless this was it, but was that not maybe where Bitcoin, so the 9th of March, was Bitcoin not dropping then? Yeah, so that was tied into this Bitcoin candle, so I don't think so. So maybe it's not been delisted, I don't know, but I can't see any kind of delisting candle on it. Unless it just didn't get that much of a reaction compared to the rest, I don't know. But maybe if it hasn't, maybe that's one that could be in line next. Big thank you to everyone who's joined the stream today. Obviously, a lot lower volatility on US Open than usual, but a very nice stream nonetheless. Obviously looked at Bitcoin, altcoins, the Mag 7, the S&P, a little bit of interlude on MSTR as well. But before you go, please do make sure you drop a like on the stream if you haven't. Do make sure you subscribe as well. We're now over 1.9k followers on YouTube, subscribers, whatever they're called. So we're very, very close to that 2k region, which would be very good. And yeah, please do click the links in the description. If you're looking to trade anything, do sign up to BLOFIN. It's non-KYC. And if you do want to get Stonksy, obviously get full indicator access, Discord access, and whitelisted for the trading bots. And there will be some more news coming out around an updated version of a trading bot soon, I believe, SMFC, if I could tease that. Well, I suppose I already have. When it's ready. So we'll have some more news on the trading bot side as well, but the high frequency one is still smashing the trade. So do make sure you take advantage of it. 20% off today when you use the code in the description. Click the link too, and it'll take you over there. In the meantime, that's all from me today. Big thank you for joining, and I'll catch you all tomorrow, obviously Wednesday, so we've got Save with Crypto on. Be a great stream, and I'll see you all then. Bye for now.